Hello Poke people, and welcome back to Classic Trading Cards. I hope you're having a great week. Today I just wanted to stop by and share some exciting news with you. I ended up getting rid of a lot of different product and made my biggest sale ever inside the Pokemon TCG space. So I wanted to go through my process with you guys and just kind of share some of the items that I got rid of and what I plan to do with those funds moving forward. Over the past couple days, I was just going through my closet and thinking to myself, wow, I have so many different SKUs and so many different ancillary products that I purchased for MSRP. Why don't I save myself a headache in the future and just get rid of some of this stuff now while the market is scorching hot? So that's what I did. I boxed up a lot of different ancillary things that I was just hanging on to and brought it to a couple different local card shops. Got 80% cash at one and 80% credit at another. We'll go over that here shortly, but let's hop over to TCG Player and I'll show you guys some of the items that I was willing to get rid of. So one of which was a Legendary Warriors box. This particular one had some Lost Origin packs inside of it, along with an assortment of other, Sword and Shield sets. I'm going to hang on to two of these. I ended up selling one, but the two that I'm hanging on to have Fusion Strike inside of it. My son's a pretty big fan of like Zacian and Sword and Shield games, so I thought, I'll hang on to a couple of these and give one to him in the future. I was willing to let go of this. I got it at $70. It's already up over 100% over the past year, so as far as my entry point goes. And they're big, they're bulky, not something that I feel like breaking down, at least currently. So I thought, you know what? This card shop could probably use some inventory, and I made a Facebook Marketplace post trying to sell this as close to market as I could, and a local card shop owner, this particular one, reached out to me, and he was definitely interested in some of the stuff that I had. So this was one of the items that I included in the boxes that I brought there. Another item that I was willing to get rid of were a lot of these Astral Radiance 3-pack blisters. These were on Pokemon Center a little over a year ago. Back when I was first investing, about a year and a half ago, I was just buying everything that had the word Pokemon on it, especially Sword and Shield stuff. And, I had 9 of the Sylveon promo packs and 9 of the Eevee packs that I was willing to get rid of. Made a decent percentage on these, holding for a year, and it's just something that I really don't want to hold long term. Not that it takes up a ton of space, but 3-pack blisters, I'm starting to evolve and get different goals inside of the investing space, and 3-pack blisters just aren't something that I'm going to be purchasing a lot of moving forward. So these were some that I was willing to get rid of. Astral Radiance isn't necessarily the best set either, so willing to offload that and take some profit. Another item that I ended up selling were a ton of Twilight Masquerade sleeved booster packs. My local grocery store had them a couple months ago just in bulk, and I purchased a ton of them. They were selling for $4 a pack at the time. I think on market value on them was about $8. So I thought, I'm already up $4 a pack every time I purchase one. I'll just get as many as I can. So I brought almost all of my Twilight Masquerade booster packs to the local card shop. I ended up keeping like one or two of the full art sets of the booster packs, but I have a booster box of Twilight Masquerade. It's a decent set. I do like the Eevee and the Growlithe art combo with, I forgot her name, the trainer, but I really do like that combo art. However, it's not the strongest Scarlet Violet set, maybe in 4th place or so. Anyway, something I was willing to get rid of were a bunch of these Twilight packs. I ended up selling some Destined Rivals sleeve packs and some Surging Sparks also. I have Destined Rivals booster boxes. I have Surging Sparks booster boxes. I kept a full art set or 2 of each of those sets just as, the collector inside me wanted to hang on to a few of them. However, I was willing to get rid of a lot of the bulk packs that I had sitting around, all sleeved, but not something I want to hold super long term. The only item that I ended up selling yesterday that I didn't purchase at MSRP was a Vivid Voltage booster box. I got this from Rudy a little over a year ago for $150, up nearly 100% on that investment over the past year, which compared to the stock market, I mean, you look at the economy and gas prices and stock market nowadays, it's a tough environment to try and navigate, and I'm glad that I ended up investing some capital into Pokemon, because in a short period of time to be up 100% on something, especially inside of a year, those are really respectable gains. I ended up getting rid of some Journey Together booster bundles, like hyper modern Mega Kangaskhan boxes, couple Mega Evolution ETBs, Journey Together ETBs, couple blister packs from Journey Together, holiday calendar, what else? A couple check lane blisters, just stuff. And I don't want to hang on to just stuff moving forward. I really want to focus on ETBs, Pokemon Center ETBs, booster boxes, collection boxes if they hold a lot of value and, inside of it. But I really need to get focused as an investor. And I think yesterday making this big sale was a step in the right direction for me. I do have some more work to do. I do have some more things to consolidate on. And I think I want to try consignment this next time, just so that way I have a little bit of experience selling in multiple different ways and just kind of know what to expect moving forward. So yeah, I went to 2 different shops yesterday, got 80% cash on one, and then 80% store credit at another one, where I put that nearly $900 in store credit towards a Fusion Strike booster box. So to go to my local card shops with a trunk full of product and ended up walking away with a bunch of cash and one booster box. So that felt good. It felt good when I got home. I didn't regret it at all. I was able to sleep easily at night. Will I look back at the prices someday and see that they've gone up? Of course. However, I am willing to consolidate, and if I've made purchases that I wasn't necessarily too thrilled on to begin with or was uneducated at the time. So yeah, I'm glad I did all that. And moving forward, I just want to be a more focused, goal-oriented collector and investor. All right, let's take a couple minutes to go over the trending sets and trending products that are currently selling in the market, and we will say goodbye. So anyway, I think an opportunity right now is prismatic evolution bundles and potentially ETBs. Yesterday at the card shop, they were trying to sell these for $75. I asked if they had a little bit of wiggle room. They did not. Otherwise, I would have put all $900 that I had in credit towards booster bundles. However, if you're able to find these locally, like I was, for around that $60 to $70 range, I think this is a screaming buy right now. They're getting printed. This price, I think, is going to be like this. The window of time that you have to purchase these bundles, it might seem like you have a lot of time, but moving forward throughout the year and into next year, you're going to wish you had pulled the trigger on these booster bundles and the ETBs. I think these and the ETBs have good value right now. If you go to GameStop, as far as I'm aware, you can pre-order 2 ETBs of Prismatic for $150, which I really think, unless we see a crazy reprint of millions of these boxes, $150 is going to be pretty much the bottom for the time being. So I think you might see the price dip on this a little bit online in the short term. But if you have the capital and you have a GameStop that's relatively local to you, I would recommend going over there and pre-ordering a couple of these boxes and just getting them, $60, $70 off market. Another opportunity, which is very obvious, is Ascended Heroes. About a week after release, a month ago, these were available for on that $90 to $100 price range, depending, who's selling locally, and even online, you could have purchased these for $100. But Ascended Heroes is up there as far as quality of sets. especially in the Mega Evolution / Scarlet Violet eras. And it's just going to be a standout product as the years go on. It's an amazing set. I don't really say that lightly because I'm pretty harsh when it comes to judging, full sets and not just singular cards. Ascended Heroes is definitely going to stand out. It's a no-brainer play. If they don't reprint this box over the next couple months, I could see this pushing $140, $150 easily, because at the rate that it's getting ripped and the excitement that people have around this set, it's just kind of obvious of where it's going to go as far as price is up. So not only that, but we have Chaos Rising and Perfect Order coming out and being released, which are, in my opinion, kind of dud sets, which Pokemon may have a strategy behind that. I'm kind of speculating here, but I think in order to cool off the market a little bit and focus on loyal customers and be able to get product in people's hands, I think Pokemon is doing the right thing and releasing some sets that aren't of, this crazy value and this crazy quality that Ascended Heroes and Prismatic are. So anyway, if you can get a hold of some of these ETBs, I think even at 125 online, you will be thankful and you will be glad that you did so a year or two from now. Even though it's in print still, these ETBs are going to do nothing but go up over the next, 5-10 years. So if you can buy some inside the print window while the price is relatively cheap, good on you, mate. One thing I was really surprised about, I was checking the prices on these Pokemon Center ETBs for the Ascended Heroes sets, selling for $400 already. And if you don't plan on holding these long term, or you have a bunch of them that you got at a relatively cheap price, if like I said, if you don't plan on holding these long term and you got lucky and got these at MSRP, why not make 6 times your money and get rid of 1 or 2 of those boxes? I mean, it's just a screaming sell at this point. The rate that this went up, it's just crazy. So if you can 6x your investment in a month, I mean, that is super impressive, and I would not blame anyone for selling some of these boxes right now. I do have a suspicion that they will do another drop of these online, and that's your opportunity to buy some more. I mean, sell now, try and get back in when the price drops, maybe 10-15%, but I mean, don't necessarily need to time the market, but that's sort of my strategy. And if I ended up accumulating any more of these, that's how I would go about it. Personally, I'm a long-term holder, so I am going to hang on to the ones that I have. But if you're more of a short-term, mid-term investor or flipper and you feel like, you could do without these boxes in your collection, by all means, sell them, because like I said, 6 times your money in a short period of time is super impressive. I just wanted to mention that yesterday I was at the card shop and there was an event happening there for the pre-release of Perfect Order. No one seemed interested in the booster boxes. No one seemed interested in the ETBs that they had for sale. They were trying to sell booster boxes at $199. I didn't see a single one sell while I was there, doing my own transaction. But yeah, it just seems like a really stinker of a set. And besides what I was able to get on Pokemon Center, I don't plan on purchasing any more of this. In fact, I might actually get rid of that once it lands. So Perfect Order, I'll probably hang on to one of the Pokemon Center ETBs, but as far as the booster box goes and the my other Pokemon Center ETB, I'll probably end up getting rid of them. One last thing is I'm starting to transfer my paper trail of all my investments and what I've paid, all that good stuff, onto a Google spreadsheet. I'm basing this off of PokeProfit's spreadsheet that I saw he had, where he keeps track of his inventory and his basically monthly gains and what he's sold, what he's brought in. I kind of want to try and emulate that in my own way. And for right now, I have a template going that I need to really sit down and spend some hours transferring everything that I have in my handy dandy notebook over to a Google Doc that you're seeing here. One thing I will say though is that after my consolidation period yesterday and moving forward, being a little bit more focused and goal oriented, it will make this process of transferring everything and keeping track of stuff a lot easier. When you don't have to keep track of 10 different types of blister packs and a bunch of ETBs that are from sets that are kind of whack. You could definitely save yourself a headache in the future by focusing on specific SKUs and specific product types that have proven themselves over the years and will just make it a lot easier to keep track of. So anyway, I really thank you guys for tuning in. If you feel compelled, please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I have a couple days of work coming up here. Just a little bit of transparency. So whenever I put my 40, 50 hours in throughout the week, it's in a very short period of time. I work 16-hour shifts as much as I can, just so that I can have more time with my family. So over this weekend, I'm going to be rather busy, but next week we'll come back with just a general market update. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you have a great weekend. Cheers.